Let's go ahead and move on to our next call. Marvelous from Canada. You able to hear me?
Yeah,
Nice. I think we also talked too before, right?
yeah, twice.
Nice. All right. Well, how can I help you today?
So the thing is, I started helping one of my family friends who encouraged me to stop being a lukewarm Christian in the helpings of making his new church. But my mom wants me to keep going to our old church, even though they teach contradictory ideas to the Bible, like gay weddings, like they accept that kind of stuff. And like it's a very lukewarm church. They don't do any prayer meetings. But this other church does, and it's like very active, and their service is very biblically and like inspired. And like I'm still a teenager, so like I can't just like disobey my mom. And like I've been praying really hard for this. I'm not really sure exactly which church I should go, but I should just like still go, even though they teach wrong ideas to the Bible. So I don't know.
Right. Okay. So you want to go to this new church,
Yeah.
and your mom wants you to go to this other
The
church that you disagree with, and there's a lot of things. Is that,
yeah,
and so because you're still a little bit younger,
yeah,
you're like, okay, well, should I honor my mom or should I just try to go to this new church?
yes.
Okay. So have you had a kind of heart to heart with your mom saying like, hey, this is what I think about this church. These are my disagreements with it. I'd like to go to this new church.
Yeah,
Have you had that conversation yet?
yeah, I did, and we had a compromise, but it was like very limiting. Like she said, I can only go if after I go to the service of the church she wants me to go to, then I can go to the other one. But like their service overlaps, so that's like the only compromise we could reach.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up just a little bit. What was that compromise again?
Like she said, I have to go to the church she wants me to go to first. Then afterwards, I can go to the other church, but their service overlaps.
Got it. Got it. Is there a second service or a midweek
No,
service that you could potentially go to?
they
No?
hold prayer meetings, which I joined, but it's online. No, no.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I think you might need to do another talk and really talk to them and say, hey, or talk to your mom and say, hey, that they're overlapping church services. And here's the thing. Your goal needs to really try to communicate that you are genuinely trying to grow and that you do not think you can grow at this other church, and that it sounds like your mom cares about God. She might go to a church that you
Yeah,
disagree with, but it seems that she does care about God. So instead of approaching it like this kind of fight, like, all right, I have my way that I really want to do, and she has her way that she really wants to do. She's like an obstacle. I think instead coming alongside her and saying, hey, look, I really want to grow. I know you want me to grow. I feel like I can grow through here, but I go to this, I'm going to your church right now, and I feel like it's a little difficult for me. Um, and I want to listen to you and go to, and to go to this church, and then so I can try to get to this other one, but it doesn't meet that, or it meets at the exact same time. Have you had like a follow-up conversation to that degree?
no,
Where I actually told her like, hey, they're conflicting times kind of a thing?
yeah, but like because the other church they have longer services, so like if I come, I might be able to make like the last couple minutes. So that's why she says it might be okay if I just do that.
Okay. So I have a few options for you. And I think these are just my opinions. I don't think that these are just things for you to keep in mind. I I love that you're sensitive to the fact that churches should have prayer meetings, and I also disagree that I believe that that marriage is between a man and a wife. And so I like that you care for a church being theologically sound. I also, so here's one thing. You can either listen to your mom and be like, "Hey mom," and you try to communicate to her and you say, "I would really," and you really break down the fact that you want to go to this church for the reason to grow and that you cannot grow at this other church. Can you please let me go to this church? Um, and you just ask politely and nicely. And if she says yes, cool, you got it. But if she says no, then I recommend that there's a lot of, I know it's going to sound a little weird, but if you go to this other church, I would try to see what are the things that you can grow in and learn from. And if they like, I honestly would try to learn at this place. I think that if they used, I'm actually kind of curious to see what this church teaches. I would make sure. I don't think that just because you theologically disagree, there's certain things that you could still learn from. Like I have been to a Mormon service before, and I knew that we disagreed, but I went there particularly to witness to my family, and I went there so that I can learn more about Mormon doctrine. And I see what they do, and I see why they're so successful, and I learned from them. In college, I also took a whole class on Islam. Took a whole class, whole semester, and I learned it. And you know, it was really cool. I ended up making another friend who was a Seventh Day Adventist, and me and her both had the same heart to take the class so that we can be more equipped to witness to people who are Muslim. And so it was really cool. So all that to say, like I went to college and I was witnessed to by a bunch of people who were atheists and believed in evolution, and I had a bunch of conversations with them and I challenged their ideas, and we got to talk about God, and I got to share the gospel with them. So I might encourage you. Okay, I'm not saying you need to do this, but I'm not. If I would, for one, really highly suggest that you have that heart to heart with her, with your mom, and be humble and be kind and really try to work with her so that you can grow. And if for some reason she says no, then I will tell you, I'd encourage you to probably still go. Again, this is just my opinion. Let's pray about it. I would encourage you to possibly still go and to see what you can learn from there. And at the same time, see what it is that they're teaching wrong, learn more about it so that you can learn to refute it. So it can be a learning opportunity. So those are my thoughts.
Thank you. I just have one quick question, if you don't mind. Like, it's really quick.
Sure.
Can you just like give me like one pointer, like while reading the Bible, so like I don't read it with like any biases?
One more time.
Like, how can I read the Bible without inflicting my own personal biases on it?
Yes. The way that you can read the Bible without inflicting your own personal bias is to know what an observation is. So I talk about this in our How to Study the Bible video. Joseph, if you can let me share my screen, How to Study the Bible, beginner level, right here. This video right here, it allows you to be able to make observations. Like your personal bias is in the interpretation, where it says, "For God so loved the world." It just like God is the one who loved the world. There's no personal bias. You're just taking it as is. So that's how you read the Bible. Like I can go through any book. It's like, okay, fruit of the Spirit. You know, these are things that come out of the Spirit because it is a fruit. Like that is an observation. So the way that you can read the Bible without putting your own personal bias is to make sure that you make correct observations. So I would encourage you to read that or to watch that
Thank you
video.
so
Okay.
much.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
Marvelous.